I'm Maurice and welcome to Tanks and Invest, where we talk about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's video, entertainment purposes only. The investment we're going to talk about today would be Ethereum, ticker ETH. With respect to Ethereum, on Friday, on June 11 today, currently we're down about 3.5% today. So I want to quickly hop on the camera to give you guys an update on the technical analysis on how we're seeing the trends going forward from here ever since that CPI report that came out yesterday, which subsequently drove some positive pressure across the equity market, which subsequently drove off from there. And as of today, we have seen some sector rotations across the growth stocks as well, which subsequently have some negative correlations to Ethereum at the same time, and also with respect to Bitcoin as well, also down about 0.3% at the moment. So I'm going to go through a technical analysis to see the level of resistance that we should be dollar cost averaging in, or what level should we be going down to or going up to in the near future. And my price target for year in 2021 as well. So stay tuned, stick around, let's make some money. Alright, so moving on to the technical analysis, I'm recording this as of 1 p.m. Eastern time right now. So we are basically 3 hours away from the equity market closing at 4 p.m. later today. So with respect today, we're currently down about 3.7% at the moment, trading around like the $2,377 level. And with respect to the level of consolidation that we are at the moment, we basically kind of up in the air right now. We either have to go back down to the $2,293 level, which is a relatively weak substantive level for us to consolidate at. That I foresee us to be going down further into the $2,150 level, which is a more likely level of consolidation that we'll be going to. Knowing the fact that on the MACD perspective, we recently crossed. You could see that we are crossed very subliminally. We don't really see a major cross, but we will see some more of a selling pressure. Not a lot, right? Just about $200 downside from here, and on the fact that RSI is already kind of dipping in the more of a submerged level, that the rebound is subsequently going to be expected. I believe it's going to happen sometimes around either late Saturday tomorrow or early on Sunday morning, which is something that we should be expecting. Also, on top of the fact, remember, right, today is a Friday and tomorrow is Saturday and Sunday, which is the weekend. And we have to be mindful of that weekend affectation, right, which I've mentioned in my previous videos, right? People tend to sell off on like a Friday when they see, some bullishness across the board, right? And they want to secure some profit so they don't have to be worrying about going into the weekend, worry about the cash balance going up or going down or going sideways, right? And Ethereum or cryptocurrency as a whole is something that is traded 24 hours, 7 days a week, right? We don't really have days off for cryptocurrencies, right? So I think that's also another catalyst that's driving this sell off, right? And on top of that, you can see that NEO, which is a growth stock, and on top of a lot of EV stocks that are in the small cap as well, so is like other growth stocks like Peloton, like Coinbase as well, are up today. So there's also some sector rotation in that spectrum. That's also having some correlations to influence small traders or retail investors to buy or chase the pump, if you may, right? Which subsequently drive a little bit more of a sell off for Ethereum, while in relative speaking, for Coinbase is down about 0.15%. So Ethereum is obviously more price sensitive with more volatility, so it makes sense that way. But despite the volatility that we're expecting right now with respect to the sector rotations that we see on the growth equity side, the sell is relatively minimal right now, right? And I think the likelihood of us like going back down to the $2,293 level as the first level of relatively weak substantive level will be likely, and then going to the 2,150, and then we'll subsequently rebound from there. And I think the rebound we're basically going to further oscillate around this level. We're just consolidating right now without any major news with respect to like the corporate adoptions or utilization going forward with respect to Ethereum 2.0. So I think it's just more oscillations going forward from here. But if you want to day trade in the near term, I think waiting until the 2,150 or wait until the 2,289 or 2,000 like $300 level would be ideal, because like that the likelihood of us getting there would be very, very likely, and then buy at those level and then swing trade and wait until we pump up all the way back to the $2,750 level. That will subsequently get you like about like a $500 gains if you buy one Ethereum, or if you buy multiple, obviously that multiplies from there, right? So definitely interesting chart right now. Nothing to really worry about. I think this is very logical. Correlates with the CPI report and how the sector rotation is being played right now, because the report came out relatively optimistic. Despite the Wall Street or like media affectations saying it's a very negative report because inflation is coming, but inflation has been foreshadowed for such a long time right now. Like, how do you expect that we are able to get these stimulus checks? How do you expect that the economy has been sustained without all the companies going belly flop, right? How are corporates able to sustain their operations without the cash and the support with respect to quantitative easing that the Federal Reserve have been supporting us on, right? We've been printing money to sustain our economy, sustain our country ever since, right? So now they're screaming inflation is something that is such a detriment. I think that's something that is a relatively old news, and it was just a relatively more of a manipulation play that the media wants to play to influence, gullible investors that are more prone to, follow the news, if you may, right? Remember, the news are oftentimes controlled by one of those institutional investors, most of the time a hedge fund, that try to influence the market so they can dollar cost average at a lower level, right? So the rotation is happening, and it's logical, and it's important that you don't just buy into the news and expect that's what's happening as a fact. You never take news as a face value. You always want to testify and verify by understanding what are the incentives of the news reporter. Why are they publishing this news today, in that specific angle or perspective that they try to portray to influence, right? If you understand that at those angles, while at the same time do your quantitative research by really digging deep into your data and your analysis and reading the chart, understanding the psychology behind investors, you will never lose the market. You know what I'm trying to say? So do your homework, do your research, really be skeptical. Don't even like listen to me. Like, listen to yourself. Like, I am just someone that is speaking on a camera, and this is, again, right, for entertainment purposes only. This is not a financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and I hope that you're able to encapsulate what I'm talking about and then use that into your formulations for your executions going forward, right? So hope that's helpful. So just to recap on all the numbers that we just talked about today with respect to Ethereum, I think the current level we are about like the $2,330 right now. I think with the likelihood of us going down to like the $2,200 level, which again is a non-substantive consolidation level that we've had before, that the likelihood of us getting to the 2,150 would be likely. So that's actually the level that I will actually buy at. I wouldn't buy at the current level right now. But if you buy for a long term, why not, right? Like, but that depends on how much cash you have on your balance and how much risk aversion you have at the same time in terms of your appetites, right? And are we gonna go to like the 1750? I think based on the chart right now, I don't think so. Not at least like during this weekend, definitely not. I don't foresee us to be going down like even next week either, because I feel like the worst was really baked in already. But if there's more negative catalyst that's coming out, or there's more sector rotation that's coming, shifting more to the growth stocks in the following weeks and months coming forward, which is something that we are expecting, right? The equity market is going to be propelling going forward. That could have some more of a drag down to the crypto market, which, there are anti-correlations to that, right? However, with respect to my long-term outlook, right, 20% corporate adoption, close to about $10,000 per Ethereum, that's highly likely, right? Knowing the fact that we tested 5,000 or the 4,800 mark, relatively short, right? Within just like a couple of weeks of pump, and we got there. So the like of us getting there would be relatively sharp and fast. It's just a matter of time. So we're percolating right now. We're anticipating that momentum coming forward as corporate adoptions coming. If you're buying at the $2,300 level, at the current level, right? Again, I don't advise doing so right now because I see there's a cheaper discount that's coming. This will subsequently generate like a north of 4 times of your return from here, which is not bad for like a 12 months gain, right? Alright, so that's it for today with respect to my technical analysis on Ethereum. Hopefully that's helpful in giving you more transparency and clarity how I'm looking at and how I'm triangulating between the equity market and the crypto market and the resistance level that we need to look out for, so you could, buy at the optimal level for your executions of your price, right? Again, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, also the bell notification, and watch out for the next video coming up. Take care.